This meeting is being
excited to
recorded.
so I'm excited to be stepping into this new role to support expansion for Eagle Ridge Academy. I also do have two people joining me. One is Kathy Oberstar, who is our current board vice chair for our school board, and has been serving on our growth task force over this past year and a little bit, as well as Ms. Claire Murray, who is our former board chair for quite some years and has also been serving on and continues to serve on the strategic growth task force. So just want to thank them for being here. I know some things as I'm stepping into this position and learning, but they have a lot of expertise and some of the things. So appreciate them being here and maybe answering a few questions if I'm not to. So we are going to get started. I just have a few slides to share to kind of get us grounded in our work today. And Miss Murray, are you able to see that? Wonderful, thank you. It's always good to do a check. Okay. So we are going to just go over a little bit of the broad strokes, a kind of a review of expansion, the purpose behind it, a bit of the timeline of the school, a bit of roles in terms of staff at ERA who are supporting that. We're going to talk about kind of where the work is happening right now. And then we'll do a quick review of the expansion page that has been kind of relocated on our website. Maybe some of you were able to take a peek at that. And then I hope to leave some time for questions, just to kind of hear what you are wondering about. So we'll get started. First of all, our main purpose, of course, always remains the mission that we have at Eagle Ridge Academy, and that is to bring our students a high quality classical education focused on the liberal arts, which will help them gain their highest potential, as well as building that character in them that we partner with the families to do. And so our focus through this expansion process continues to be the mission. And we are really focused on continuing to serve this purpose for our current students and families, as well as expanding it to offer it to more families. The board in particular, a few years ago when they made their latest strategic plan, set out expansion as a goal, not knowing exactly what direction that might take at that point in time, but just knowing that they wanted to position Eagle Ridge Academy to expand in the charter school realm, both to offer that education to more students and also hopefully influence maybe other high quality charter schools to create more educational choices for families and students across Minnesota. And so they had a big goal, and something that really resonated with me through that process was their belief that we have a moral imperative if we are in a good position to offer this type of classical education to more students and families, particularly given how many students we continually have on our wait list that are wanting to come here. And so that's a big part of the why in terms of seeking this expansion. As it happens, about a year ago, last July, I think June or July, Jason was at a charter school conference and was approached by Charter School Growth Fund. And there is more information and a link to their website on our expansion page. And they are a national nonprofit who seeks to support high quality charter schools to replicate. And so this past year, we have been walking through this process with them in various ways. They've been on site and visiting. We've been consulting with people connected to them just to kind of really see, is Eagle Ridge Academy ready for this next step? And potentially get some funding from them. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that coming up. So just a brief timeline review. This is more just kind of a history of our school. So as you can see there, we opened in 2004. Some of you might have been around for that. I think a few of us have been. And then we have just kind of continued to expand year over year and are now just finished our 21st school year. So we are ERA and its community has really accomplished a lot in the 21 years of its existence, and we're excited to continue that tradition of wise, meaningful growth. So it's a really great place to be and to be stepping into, and we're building on past success in this area, which is also a good place to be. I'm just going to go over briefly the work. So my main job at the moment is a startup coordinator and then potentially founding principal as we seek to start our first K-8 additional site. And it'll start as a K-3, that's the plan right now, and then we'll do a phased growth after that, much like when Eagle Ridge Academy has expanded in the past and added different grade levels. So that's the intention right now. I am working closely with anyone connected to Eagle Ridge Academy and just to make sure that things are ready to go. And then once we have secured all the funding that we need and have a site finalized, I'll be doing a lot of the work to get the things in the building that we need, get the people in the building that we need, and that type of thing. So I'm the main person supporting this, but obviously everyone in the school is contributing. I'm working very closely with Jason and working very closely with Susan. I've got some nice support from the board in terms of their skills and expertise. And just like anyone else in the building, I find everyone is pretty excited about the opportunity as we move through the process. So it's been a really great privilege to kind of step into that role. The plan is to provide about monthly updates just about every month, unless there's like something super exciting or really important that we think the community should know, then you might receive communication about that, at a different rhythm. But right now we're planning for about once a month for sure, just to kind of let everyone know where we are with things. Right now there are 3 locations for a secondary site under serious consideration. 2 have existing buildings on site, so that would be a remodel. And if timelines would go as we would want and predict, fall of 2026 is when we would be looking to open the first K-8 building at a K-3 start. The other location of the 3 that we're looking at is land that we would purchase, and that it would mean a build out. So that might push a start date back to a fall of 2027. So all of those are kind of under serious consideration right now. Kind of just going through due diligence and working with all the things I don't understand about real estate in that realm, but other people are handling that, which is great. All of those locations are between 8 to 12 minutes away from our current Minnetonka campus here. And the goal, if we can, is to find a site that offers land which will provide space for expansion in terms of like activities and athletic space. So if we are able to locate something that has room to like either do a capital campaign or really do some good fundraising toward making our activities and sports facilities, even better. That's the goal as well. Right at this present moment, we are finalizing a presentation that will be given to Charter School Growth Fund's CEO, as well as a few key members of their staff. That is going to happen in Denver in the middle of September. After that presentation, they bring Eagle Ridge Academy to their board to make final recommendations about funding that they might provide to us. So right now, Jason, Susan, myself, we are working very closely with Charter School Growth Fund Management team that covers this area and kind of who originally approached us to consider replication. And so we're putting together a presentation so that we can give a good idea of who we are as Eagle Ridge, what our plan for growth is, and really that it's a thoughtful approach that we feel good about offering. So I'm working on that quite a lot right now, and it's been really interesting. I'm also working on plans for student transfer and enrollment at the secondary site to just kind of finalize guidelines and processes around that. Our goal with that is maintaining our student culture here at the current building and also kind of adding to it because we don't want to compromise what we're already providing. So it's always with a mind of keeping those intact. And then also connected to that teacher and staff transfer processes and procedures, because we may have some teachers and families who live by closer to the other location, and for them it might make sense to go there. And so we want to be able to provide that option. So more information will be coming as we kind of move through the process about all that. And then preparation for hiring. So just kind of like, what do we have existing in our district level in terms of hiring processes, procedures, that type of thing, that I can kind of just tighten up and make a little bit more robust so that as we start to expand to a different site and potentially others, then we will be able, we'll be prepared for that. So that's kind of where the work is landing right now. And essentially, when we talk about expansion in Eagle Ridge Academy's case, what we're talking about is a kind of like going to the copy machine and making a copy of much of what we already do. The mission is the same, the curriculums are the same, how we work with our teachers to deliver content to our students and with the classical pedagogy in mind, keeping virtues top of mind with our cipher values, a lot of our traditions that we already have in place, like assemblies and just a lot of those things. The intention is we just want to repeat the same thing in a different location because what we're providing has been valuable and meaningful and impactful to students. So in terms of differences and change, it really the intention is not to create like a different type of Eagle Ridge Academy, but just to create, take what we're doing and also transfer it someplace else so that we can offer that same experience to more families and more students. The last thing I want to just do quickly here is just in case you haven't had a chance, we have relocated our expansion page on our website. So now I'm going to just, if you go to the landing page on our website currently and you click on the menu, you'll over on the side see, you know, about us, and it's under there. So you'll find information about the board and a few other things. And then there's an expansion line, and you just click right on that, and this is where it will take you. This has a lot of details that I'm not going to go over because you can read it and access it yourself, and that's probably a more leisurely way to go about getting information. So this has a lot of the information, specifics about metrics. I'll be updating the website with Francesca for sure every month, and then again, if there's something important and a change, we'll be adding that. So we have a timeline. Here's where you'll find the recordings of the meetings. We already have some meetings planned out for these dates. And again, we'll shift that or add some if needed. It just gives you an idea of kind of like what expansion could look like over the course of many years. And then there are some frequently asked questions here, and those have been updated as well as needed. And then there is a form here as well so that you can submit something, or if someone you know has a question, you could refer them to this page as well. You're welcome to email me. Also, my email has stayed the same at Eagle Ridge Academy and should be able to be found on the website and things. But this is also another avenue where you can submit questions. So, whoops. Nobody needs to see my calendar, really. I am, with that, we are going to, I'd just like to open it up for questions that people might have. Let's see, I need to stop sharing here. I will admit that it's been a little bit since I've done my Zoom thing. There we go. The button right there that says stop, that's always how it goes. So, yeah, so if anybody might have questions, you can certainly unmute yourself if you would like to. Just a reminder that we are being recorded in case that's important. You can put something in the chat if that's more convenient. And yeah, I'll just open it up for questions. You might have to say that one more time. I didn't catch all of that. Okay. If you don't have any questions, that's perfectly fine as well. Just wanted to make sure we had some space. Also, if either Kathy or Claire have something that they think would be important to cover that was not covered, that would be just fine as well.
No, I think you did a great job, Janelle. The only thing I would add, just because I know it's comforting and good for families to hear, is when the board was first making any of these decisions regarding growth, it was a very, very thoughtful process. And our number one concern as a board and as an academy was we didn't want to dilute what we already have. So just to reiterate what you had said about the importance of maintaining the integrity of our current campus is at the forefront, I think, of everybody's decision making. So I just think that that's just worth reiterating because it's so important.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just second that. It was thoughtful. The last thing we want to do is jeopardize any of the good things going on at our current campus. But we also want to take, all of the really good things happening at our current campus and make those opportunities available, to more students, more families, as well as more teachers and staff. And I'll just say, I'm sure, families and parents and teachers all have a lot of questions. And we have some answers, but a lot of them, we'll figure them out. And so I'd really encourage people, use the expansion webpage, submit your questions, and Janelle will get them answered as we have answers.
Yeah, and Kathy, I appreciate you bringing that out too. We have a lot of teachers who want to continue to grow and maybe grow in leadership or in other opportunities. And this is a really great and important way that we can offer that as well. So I think that's really important to highlight as well. All right, I'm going to check the chat again just to see. I don't see any questions. I'll give it just another few moments here in case you were thinking of one or struggled with your technology like I did just a moment ago. And if there are any questions you'd like to ask, otherwise, we will. Oh, yes. Oh, we're excited to have you and your new kindergartner. That's good. Wonderful. Yeah. It'll be fun to hear how your experience goes, but we are definitely excited to have our new kindergartners are always a special joy for all of us as they enter our building. So that will be wonderful. All right. Well, as I said, we'll be having more updates coming. So please, if you have people ask you, please let them know they can contact me. As Kathy said, they can check the web expansion webpage. Our goal really is to try to communicate as transparently as possible through this process because it's so important. And a lot of the times with the questions we get from the community, teachers, staff, parents, students even, will help us think about things well too. So we always value that. So thank you for taking the time to come today. Thank you to Claire and Kathy for setting aside some time. And looking forward to this expansion and all the great things it's going to bring. So have a great weekend. Thank you, everybody.